Ketla, welcome to my YouTube channel, Leto with Kaone, and today we're getting into it with a spiritual Q&A, which was initially supposed to be Yamandao, but I then realized that, you know what, let's just make it a spiritual Q&A. And if you are literally coming back, I want to say welcome back. And if you're literally joining us for the very first time, I want to say you are welcome. And yes, babes, we are getting straight right into it. Y'all send your questions and I'm going to be reading them from my Skedlembe, guys, to make things easier. I tried writing everything and kabona ruwi. Hi, anyege ke loki. So a young disclaimer actually before I go far and beyond is the fact that guys, what I'm going to tell you is according to my experience, and this whole layer to the journey is based on my experience as an individual, my experience, my experience and my journey. So there are many ways to kill a cat. People do things differently. Ooh, and don't mind my natural hair, guys. It shrank and lighting it later tekatekisa. But anyways, I'm so sorry also with the sounds that you might be hearing from outside. Load shedding happened, ring light vibes. It's a maza, and this is the only time I actually have to actually squeeze this in. As you can see, but anyways, so yeah, my way is not the only way of doing things. We do things differently. We are from different bandes, but we share common goal. Ya gore badimo ke badimo, guys, ha ba fetoge. Badimo ba na le botho, ba ithata. Badimo respect themselves. So all these other things, please also, I'm going to be answering according to the way I know how. All right, so I'll be answering the questions in no particular order. And the first question really comes from, I don't think it's very necessary to actually say the names because the people know themselves and the questions that they asked. So I'll just answer the questions and keep it moving. Yeah. So what does the dream mean, seeing a red and white cloth in GT cloth placed on a chair? So guys, also now that we are here with dreams, I'm no longer going to be interpreting dreams on social media, because I did also state that I don't do online consultations. So I felt like a dream is just a dream and somebody will just ask a question and keep it moving. But then I realized that a lot of people, guys, and it's not funny. And it's just so much that then I realized, no man, this is a job mus. Now I'm literally doing, so it's something that I'm not going to be doing moving forward. If you really want to come and know about your dreams and how to go about it, the whole shebang, please do pull through also, because that's also more like a consultation. And it's not even about money, guys, honestly. The people that have came to me also will know this and attest to this. It's not about the money, but let's also respect each other's ancestors. And some people are very aggressive at doing that. Guys, and also have to answer to everybody in a manner that people just feel like I'm just going to talk to this one like this and then I have to take that. Can we also respect each other and yeah, keep it moving? And also, one other thing, guys, hey, not all dreams have meaning, because like I've said in one of my podcasts, Leto the Journey with Kaone Nkosi, which is available on all digital platforms, is that badimo ga ba bereke kana moa ga o bereke ga o tenegile o kwatile o le stressed etc. So you must also be very smart in being able to actually tell gore toro ena ke toro e leng gore it means something. Is there a message in this? Or ke toro hela? Not all dreams have meanings. Some dreams are just the toro hela and then you just have to wake up and go with it. Don't always want to question all dreams that you get, even the ones that just don't make sense. But there are other dreams that you need to just pray about and ask for clarity. Talk to your ancestors about and then how do I literally go about this? And that's then and when you'll be able to know how to go forward. So with this dream, what does the dream mean, seeing a red cloth and white cloth in GT? So basically, guys, a red cloth would literally talk about lefetlo. In most cases, if you're seeing a white cloth and a red cloth, it shows you know. And if it's not pretty clear in the dream, you'll just have to patla and ask, because bungaka is everywhere now. We see it on TV, we see it everywhere, and you understand how the mind works. Sometimes you see something so much, or you have something so on your mind for so long, that even when you're dreaming, you start dreaming of something alike, and sometimes people have a rata dilo, guys. People can create dreams for you. Hectic out there. So don't be one person who's always inquisitive, somebody who somebody who always wants to know. Sometimes just live your life. I'm a healer myself, but in most cases I literally like to live my life and get as it comes. I'm not always want to know when is this going to happen, how is this going to unfold. I was once that person, and it didn't end well. So I then realized, because it's just a curve, it's a learning curve, and then we are growing. You don't need the stress. Just let life happen and keep it moving. You don't have you don't have to bribe badimo botsa modimo gore when is this, what lo tsamaya le tšhentšha disangoma le tsamaya le porofitiwa everywhere, listening to everybody se porofeto sena le botsa dipotso. It's really not necessary. You need to save yourself the stress. Another question is that never consulted Pasha before. How does one begin? Okay, I think this is a question that if you haven't consulted before, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but people do things differently. You can go to a medium. It also depends on what you actually prefer and what you would actually believe in. And and then in what you are being told. I mean, also, not every healer that you're going to go consult at, you'll understand and will be able to actually tell you exactly what it is that you have to do going forward. So you also have to be very careful with that. You just need snuff, preferably, and then and then you have your bikirinyana ya metsi, and then you're gonna use your impepo, incense, whatever, and then your snuff to call on to your ancestors. Some people would use boxara. You call your paternal ancestors first, and then your maternal, and then you go about it as however you want to actually, would depend on why you're doing it. And one other question was, Gogo, what does it mean when you dream a brown big cow with the number 13 on the left? Also, that's one of the dreams. Some dreams, they don't make sense. And to me, somebody who's able to no man, I don't know what it means. And I'm not going to lie. I'm one person. Guys, I'm one person. I'm going to actually say I can't. I mean, I think it's very important for healers as well in future. I mean, really know what's more, but there are different people for different purposes, and there are different healers for different things. That's why and every other thing. So if I'm dealing with a problem that I don't understand how to go about it, I'm going to tell it to you straight up. This one, I don't know. Go back, talk to your ancestors, or try to find somebody else who will be able to actually guide you. So you can actually go about it in a proper way, politely. So not all dreams have meanings, guys. Let's not do that to ourselves. Also, why is a dream interpretation so confusing? Is it because we aren't paying attention? I really don't understand. It will also depend on the dream, what the context of the dream is and what the dream entails, because especially if you're not in a certain position, you need there's stages, there's stages. So if you're only starting out, it's even going to be more difficult and very tricky for you to understand, in as much as there are days where you're just sitting there and you're thinking, "Ooh, hi, is too much." But yeah, well, can our ancestors really hold back our blessings if we do not do as they ask and request? Well, actually, I'd say yes, because holding them back, in a sense, sometimes you're cold, right? And you don't notice. You can't notice that you're cold, and you'll see with things going south and left for you. That is when you also want to actually know and understand, why is my life going south? So that is them trying to get your attention. And once they call you, they'll keep calling you. Calling, then 2 minutes or send out press release to actually tell us that you've stopped practicing. It's not your gift. You're not going to literally laula it and how to go about it. And One badimo that I know that are very strict and are very good and excel at doing that is bandao. If your mondao is not working properly or is not done properly or trained properly, your life will go south shim. And they will literally deal with the most important things that mean so much to you, the things that you really love, so that they can get your attention. Obviously, you know, it's very shocking that some people would say every time you're being told or maybe hey, most of the people go to consult knowing their problems. And sometimes I'm going to tell you the things that you know that you didn't even tell me. But then again, there's no one who's going to wake up aloko Zanzibar on a holiday and then decide, you know what, actually when I need to go back to South Africa to go and consult. No. You obviously go consult when you know where you've exhausted all revenues and you understand that's when most people actually go. It's very rare to find somebody who wakes up in the morning and say, just for fun. You understand? So there's always a problem for you to actually go and ask about your life. What's going on? I've tried everything. So yeah, some people just like being extra. And also on that note, you find that people would say badimo and all of that. Guys, how can badimo bantshotle for years? Somebody's house and then somebody's just likely to take my ancestors. Ke nako yang go mabitleng wa go ema ka maoto mo pele ga le bitla o botsa motho gore wena ile go te rest in peace o bo robala ga le bone gore badimo ba batho ba ba direlang. There's just no way. You need to communicate with your ancestors. There's just no way that I will suffer for years for somebody to just take my ancestors. The people that really had the power to literally rearrange my life like that. And then somebody just comes and tubulas them like that and they're gone. And I'm left without ancestors, guys. Come on. There are things that people can do to you, yes, not to take your ancestors, not to take lesedi la gago. Just the same way as you going to somebody's house. How? Because they don't recognize you. In the same way that you're going to go here and go meeting, you need to know meeting and also tell them that you're coming. There's just no way that you're going to Vumbuga and start screaming. And people don't do things the right way. People don't listen to rules and regulations. When things go south, they want to blame the next person for it. It is very important that when you're undertaking this journey, be it Poporofeta, be it Bungaka, or both, teach yourself to be accountable for everything that you do. Guys, we didn't just lend molehatsing and we could do everything. There was once a time where and there was once a time you have stories to for me to be a gobela, for me to be a mkulu, I had to go through a certain process. And it's so weird that anyways, let me just not spend so much time on that one. Let's keep it moving. Is it safe to dream of black chickens? Black chickens doing what? You know, black kalali fifi, guys. It's in as much as you're not allowed to wear black, especially on your head. It anything that has to do with black. But anyways, like I said, we do things differently. We were taught differently. We see things differently. But whatever works for you, do it. But then again, black chickens can't be a good dream, guys. Also, it depends on what the chickens were doing. I mean, I can't really say much on that one. What advice would you give to somebody who's about to be a Twasa? What advice I'd give you as somebody who's actually about to undertake this whole journey ya Twasa is that you need to understand fully why you're doing it. You can't just have one dream and you met somebody and then tomorrow you decide to pack your bags and leave. No. Do thorough research, understand because some things literally catch up with you during lefetlo, and that's why most of the people's things just don't go accordingly. Careful to not announce it's not important. It's not important because not everybody likes the for wena, and it's so secret and you understand. Well, I understand that we have a channel where we're trying to, but you understand that moving with the times, and I'm hoping I'm not contradicting myself, but moving with the times, Bungaka has been turned into something else right now. And with the bits and pieces of severity and integrity that is left, ya Bungaka, we are trying to literally just reboost the narrative, ya gore, this is how things need to be done. But with that said, ikilele motho wa modimo, pray as much as you can, phahla badimo ba ko ga lona. You understand? Make sure that you are doing things accordingly before you even leave. Know exactly where you're going is where your ancestors sent you. Eseng he motho wa modimo ka one ke gobela yaanong ke tla mo romella message gore ka moso ke tsoga ke tla ka gore gate ke na le badimo. No, that is a very wrong and dangerous move. Understand where you're supposed to go, because your ancestors will literally send you to a person that they know will do right by you and is fully equipped to help you in whatever it is that you need to do. So stay prayed up. Don't compete with anybody. Understand that you're dealing with different personalities. Stay in your lane. Listen to what your ancestors say. Listen to the rules and regulations. Do what is expected of you. Ikobe, it's just for that few minutes. It's just for that few months. Ikobe nasematla kore ha go te left way, ha go te o ska ra o se ira sepe. Ikobe we polose. You know, lefetlo has to change you holistically. Physically, mentally. Listen, always possible. You can't come out the way you got in. Something has to change. If you come out the same person, then we understand that something is just not right. Something didn't go well. The software was not fully installed. So, as somebody who has reza badimo, because you are guided. It's not about you. You are guided. So be willing to listen. Be willing to be taught, be willing to learn. Itlogelle dio tsa lefatshe, tswa mo mojolong, tswa mo dithobalanong, tswa mo dijong tse di sa tshwanelang. Because these are the same things that will literally drive you back. The smallest of things, integrity is what you do when people are not watching. But if you're going to do it only because we can see you, and when we are not seeing you, we can't run after you all the time. Just do right by yourself, so that when you are done, you know that you gave it your all. Let go and let the journey be. It's gonna be difficult. It's a different journey for everyone, but that's just one thing I can tell you. You are there. Yes, you can get along with people. Don't buy faces. Know your truth. Stand your ground and be able to be accountable for all your mistakes. Understand that it will be difficult to understand certain things, but if you're willing to learn, you get the hang of it as time goes on. I think I've given you more than enough advice. What advice would you give to somebody who's about to be a gobela? It's not easy. It definitely isn't easy, because being a gobela is about it's so easy for initiates to blame you for everything and anything. Like, it is so easy for people. You must be ready to, you must have a thick skin, because people are gonna talk about you. People are gonna misread you. People are gonna be misinformed. And understand that being a gobela, what age you are, they are way older than you are. How you talk to them, the challenges that you come across as a gobela, having to train somebody, some are very respectful and make it easy for you, but it's a different experience for everyone. As for me, I've seen it all, and I continue to see it. People would literally form a caucus to be against you, and they know you did nothing. You understand? So being a gobela, you should be able to discern. Things will hurt you, but they will teach you something. And it's a challenge, man. You just need to grow a thick skin, or more than anything, and okupe badimo to guide you, because Mathosana ke meleko, guys. Mathosana, most of them, if not all. Kore mo go mo wa bona gore no, this is a challenge that was meant for me. And you need to actually be guided. Tlogela tse tsotlhe ko modimo le badimo so that they guide you and how to actually deal with challenges accordingly and the people accordingly. Know when to talk, when to keep quiet, and own your truth. Whatever you do, be accountable. Gotta keep receipts of everything and anything because they will come for you. When things go wrong, they'll batla go bitsa moloi. Hey, o batla go ntseela badimo. Hey, o ntsetse bongaka. Hey, o ntswetse. Hey, what I do, Tladisa failed. You will literally hear them all. But yeah, being a gobela is not easy, especially at my age. It's just so much. But it's a beautiful thing to actually see what you put your time in and your effort in literally grow to be something beautiful. There are initiates that I'm really grateful for. There are people that have trained that were not my initiates, but that I'm really still proud of till date. But there are some anyways, you keep it moving. You don't have to you're not supposed to confront everything and anything. Some things but otherwise and if you were trusted to be able to do a good job and look down on yourself, be strong-willed. Because if you don't, yes and no, because if you're gonna go with everything and anything, yeah, don't be friends with your initiates. Hey, yeah, no, it's don't. There's time for everything, and know when to be strict and know when to cut it down, but don't smile too much because some people just take being friendly and then they start over familiarizing themselves. But anyways, there's time and a place for everything. Stay prayed up and be guided. If you are not praying, if you're not guided, you will see flames. What advice would you give to somebody? Okay, I think that I've answered. What words of encouragement would you give to somebody who's about to go through initiation? I think it's you just need to know why you're there. Pray more than anything. Talk to your ancestors. Allow them to guide you. Allow to be taught and guided. Allow yourself to be teachable. I understand. Don't ask questions as much as you can so that you understand, because you understand that not everybody who goes to initiation has to be a gobela, has to now be literally working as a healer on practicing and then their life continues like that. So whichever one it is, you will only know once so pray without ceasing. Understand what you need to do, when and how. Reza, be teachable. Apologize when you're wrong. Be able to be accountable for whatever it is that you do. Why do gifted people go through a mental crisis at some point in their life? I really don't know. And most of the people that have spiritual gifts literally have mental health issues because there's a lot, man. There's a lot going on, and whereby there's a word you would walk into a place and then you can feel what people are feeling. You start sensing things, and these things are heavy on you because if also you don't know about the gift and you don't even know how to go about what you're feeling and understanding what is it about, it gets too much for you as a person. So you get overwhelmed what the problem is. So I think sometimes it literally plays a number in your emotions because mental health is all about feelings. It's just too much. You keep things to yourself, but and but you don't get the same. It gets so much. Sometimes you not understanding what's going on, you're asking yourself questions. So and there's a time where your body just says no man, like it's just too much. But I think that is the reason. There could be other more reasons. I think it is something that we could actually have a round table and discuss. Yeah, and the more it plays with your emotions, your mind. Why are things happening this way? Why do people treat me this way? People will blame you for things to eating, and you'll be attracting people that are literally hurt, people that are damaged. And that also has an effect on you and your mental being and your well-being. So I think that could really be the reason. But yeah, there could be other reasons. What was the most challenging thing while you were golefetlong? I think having to understand badimo ke ba utlwe ga ba bua, because you'd expect gore o tla tlhagana really sleep. It was very hard. It was very difficult. But lucky for me, when I started Nako initiation school, my intuition was very high at that point. But having to that was, I think the time when I was able to actually keep her in fitlo. If people literally, if you are ungaga, or you know this, you understand understanding letlozi la gago, giving it a voice and being able to literally personify what letlozi la gago is about. Hey, and tap into letlozi la gago, being able to hear it. It's so difficult because sometimes I'm not hearing anything. You understand? So it's just one of those things. What is the hardest thing about being a gobela? I think I answered that question, didn't I? Okay. Yeah, no, the hardest thing about being a gobela is that like people will blame you for things you don't understand. Your initiates will challenge you. Next thing they are fighting you. Next thing now they are using the things that you taught them against you. Now get battlefield challenge. It's the battle of Badimo. Like, how does your ancestors trust me enough to actually train you, and then you feel like you can actually challenge me? Weird. But anyways, being a gobela is not easy. And hey man, you should have gone through so much to be able to get to that point. And once you're at that point, then your ancestors feel like enough to actually be able to tackle a whole lot of challenges and the drama that comes with that. But yeah, the hardest thing about being a gobela is also knowing when to keep quiet, man, because there's so much noise. You should be able to cancel out the noise. So much things that will be said, so much challenges that will go through, even with you. I mean, you're not also working on you and your own journey as well. You have your own things. As a gobela, there's certain things you're not supposed to not be doing because you can't be doing certain things. You can't be seen in certain situations. In most cases, I mean, it differs from Mpande to Mpande. It's a lot, Sometimes you face challenges. That don't understand. Hard-headed people that don't want to do anything. People that have different personalities, egos, and characters. And some are so difficult, and they know they're difficult. Some are there just to challenge you. So it's not for the faint-hearted. It's honestly not. For me, yeah, it's too much. Like, to whom much is given, much is tested and expected. So I think that would literally sum everything up. It's just too much. Yeah, but like everybody's literally counting on you, and people expect you to be perfect, to know everything and do everything the way it should, forgetting that you're human. And as much as I literally answered to my calling at a young age, I'm human as well. I have feelings, but I know that with the label that I have, this label that I'm carrying on my shoulders and my head, there's certain things I need to work around in a certain way. And also bear in mind that can severity to actually carry and maintain, and my ancestors. So you're forever guided. With your life, you're responsible for other people. It's too much. What was the biggest lesson you've learned about Khotwasisa? Don't be too trusting. Do not be too trusting. Don't involve your feelings. You must just go with what you have to do and just keep it moving. Because if you're going to not be able to discern and always involve feelings, you will literally be acting from a place of feelings all the time and not being strict when you have to. Don't be too trusting. Don't take things light. That's that, because you'll suffer the consequences in the long run. You can paddle for at home just like your ancestors. Now I'm always lost when I get told that. What? You can paddle for at home? I don't know if for at home or she was trying to say you can paddle at home just like your ancestors. I'm not understanding the question. How do you try keep contact by paddling or going to water? Like, is it a spirit or what? How do you keep contact with what? Guys, can we also read our questions also? Yeah, I don't understand that question either. Have you been told, if you have been told by different people that you have abandoned your Mondao spirit? I don't understand that one as well, and I think it was sent by one person. Can you please explain ukuthi ubukhosi nobundawo buhlangana kanjani? Bukhosi lebundawo is two different things. Bukhosi lebungaka is two different things. Mandao gantsi ke mashangane, Mavenda, I'm not sure about some of Mavenda, but yeah, Matsonga, Khwakwa. But also, you could still have the spirit of Mundao because of intermarriages, where badimo ba tlhakana somewhere in the family line. But Bukhosi le Bondao is totally different things. Bukhosi le Bondao, gore le Bunguni, is totally different things. I don't know, but there's just no way it comes together there. Carry on doing the Lord's work. You're doing great. Thank you so much, my darling. Go. And that video you mentioned that Mondao could potentially mess up your life. What did you mean? Mondao, if you're not going by its rules and you're not doing what it needs to be doing, how le Mondao berekisa the way it needs to be happening, it could block out your life nicely. If you know people when Mandao, you can actually, they could attest to this. Like, your life could literally turn upside down. Mandao ke batho ba metsi and they're very powerful. So the spirit of war will never easy nicely. The spirit of violence, perfect. So if then you know you're in for it. Your life would literally turn upside down. Something has to give, and they'll always literally focus on the things that really mean the most to you. What is the difference of parola? How parola literally in most cases mondao. That's when you're going to like how basically something that's similar to that. I don't know if you'd understand it in that way, but yeah, which is mandao. Carry on doing the okay. I've read that. What is the one thing you learned about mandao that shocked you? Ooh, literally rearranging my life and the choices they literally would want you to actually make, and then you sit there and you wonder, so is this my life, or I'm literally just a vessel to come and do what these people have failed to do themselves? But yeah, that is one thing that shocked me about Bongaka actually as a whole, that it could literally rearrange your life and you would literally have to customize your life to run nicely. Lebongaka, like, I'm just still not understanding that, but it is what it is. What was it like being in Mozambique, and what are the lessons you learned? Being in Mozambique was beautiful because I learned a lot of things. They are more about being ke batho ba ileng gore ba tshepa se ba nang le sone, and Lisidimo is being used in a very beautiful way ke mandao gantsi they're very down to earth people. Ke batho ba eleng gore ba tlhompha thata sedimo le setso, and they're so authentic in almost everything, you know, and that is beautiful. They know who they are, what they represent, and what they're about. Haba teke ka moso o tlhaloganye gore motho go iragalang ka ena o mozelwane motho wa modimo a o mozayone ka moso motho o changeile gape o ka no. They're just like the people that I met in Turkey. It's very interesting. So yeah, what signs dreams indicate that a person might have Mondao spirits? In most cases, dreams of snakes, dreams of you loko metsing, dreams of you loko mawatleng, motshaba metsi. In most cases, you dream of snakes. You hear a lot of sounds. You hear hissing sounds maybe. You're also scared of snakes. Because I think that was one of the signs that I saw. And snacks basically, and una le badimo ba strong ba metsi. And how feta kubo meeting, you know, where there are places where there's these big dams, rivers, and there's something that you feel, man. Also, they communicate a lot through dreams. Yeah, I think that is quite the few that you'd really realize, right, man, there's something there. How does one know that their Mondao is properly trained? You will know that it's properly trained because it's working, and Bongagabahaho is working, everything is flourishing, nothing is blocking. You don't feel insecure. Things are going accordingly spiritually. You're in a good space, you know. You don't feel attacked. You don't get dreams of things that you don't understand, them trying to tell you they're not happy. Yeah, you will feel it, and you'd be able to actually use umda wa gago tla khona go femba tla bo khona go dira quite a lot. O khona go go metsi, o khona go bereka ka metsi, o khona go dira a lot, you know. So it'll only make sense if you actually won. Are you doing well? Are you doing good mentally? Yeah, no, it's been a hectic year. It's you know, this is 1 year that I believe has hands, guys. I know. To like left, right, and center. It's just been me trying to survive this year and literally keep my head up the entire time. It's been heat after heat, heat after heat. Hi. But I'm at a point in my life where tsotlhe di dirilwe ke wena hela ha o rena go lokile. Nthomme mosebetsi ke go sebeletse ha o ka nkimela dumela o ntlatse le go sitweng ga ka o intshwarela. I feel like sometimes we stress ourselves so much about things that are not happening in our life and not being grateful for what is happening. And maybe you're within your prayer, but you're living within an answered prayer, but because you haven't reached certain things so deep at the line, you just feel like a failure. The lack of unemployment in our country, the challenges, matwasana. Ooh, I know this year was a maza. Yeah, no, spiritually, locally, lifeically, relationshipically, like, yeah, no, this year can end actually. But I believe Ukalak sees at this point, it is what it is. But I think I'm managing. I'm not good, I'm not bad, I'm managing. What's the one thing you do that makes you feel like you didn't waste your time? Good question. Love someone, or I don't know why praying came to mind the first time I wanted to answer, because I mean I can never feel like I've wasted my time with praying. But also loving the wrong people, why did I even give my all to that? But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much. Do you enjoy solo dates and why? Yes, I do. I enjoy solo dates so much because I hardly have so much time to actually have to myself, because I'm always busy, I'm always traveling. it's this and that, ke mathwasana, ke lefetlo, ke Call of Duties, this and that, my personal life. I enjoy my space. And solo dates, I don't really have friends, but I know a lot of people. So, or rather, the friends that I have are people that are not always around. It's people that are literally working different places. We meet here and there. So, because also my ancestors are not one with friends, because and with friends, not everybody has good intentions. And I'm not saying other people are toxic. I might be the toxic one, but I think it being able to do solo dates, it's just being content with who you are. I'm alone. So I think for me it works because I love my space. I love being alone, doing things alone. I even travel alone. So yeah, I think it just brings me peace of mind. I'm able to think and see things from a different perspective and actually get to enjoy my space where I'm not even taking videos, I'm not taking pictures or anything. Whereas most of the time, maybe in most times I would, but yeah, I just enjoy it. It's so peaceful. Like, yeah. To discuss people, and it's just, yeah. What makes you happy? What makes me happy is my family, my nieces. If you know me, you'll know how much I love those ones. And doing things the right way and doing things to see a good return on investments makes me so happy, guys. And money makes me happy as well. So, oh, yeah. Because, but anyways. Yeah, being in a good space makes me happy, and being able to finish things that I'm supposed to be in time to do in time makes me happy. And yeah, just being in a good space makes me happy, and being with the people that I love makes me so much happy. And my mom, what's something you enjoy doing? I enjoy traveling more than anything. Do you have siblings? I have an older sister and a half sister. What did you learn how to, when did you learn how to drive, and is this still spiritual? Is this still spiritual, guys? Let's see. Okay, what are the challenges you've experienced since being a Gobela? I think I've answered that. What challenges did you face before knowing that you need to fix your spiritual life? It was hectic. I was sick. I was always sick. My intuition was on some other level. I was always in and out of hospital, but the doctors couldn't actually tell what's the problem. Ne ke sena khotso modimo. Botshelo ne bo nkimela, man. I remember. It was so hard. Mentally, I was not in a good space. There was always challenges after challenges. There was even a point where I was at the library to go study, guys. And then some guy just came out of nowhere to beat the living daylight out of me. And I'm thinking, what? So, things were just not going well for me. So how do you handle Gobela duties and work? I think you need to find a balance in everything that you do in life. So I really do find a balance in everything that I do, so that kiske fraza. So yeah, I think that is that. I think I've answered most of the questions. Okay, here we have others. Okay, cool. Otseba yang ha motho wa metsi has visited you. You will feel the presence. You'll think your skin will move, you'll feel a presence in the room. But you wouldn't really, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. You can partner for that. I think I did that. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. Okay. How old were you when you realized that you have a gift? I was very young. I think I was around the age of 13. And then I went to initiation school when I was 16. Yeah. And yes, we actually have some more questions. If one dreams of a sangoma telling you about your gift to buy a red duck, is it advisable to do so? Um, Dreaming of a red duck, a sangoma telling you to buy a red duck. It could be advisable to do so, but I, for one, would actually tell somebody to actually try and understand what is the duck for. Because you remember that I did say, Guti, if people realize who you're that person who's always just hearing any little dream, any little thing when you are running to do everything, just pray about it so that it is more clearer and that you understand why is it that you're doing that. What does it mean to communicate with your ancestors a million times but no response? The thing is, are you doing it the right way? And are you hearing them? That is it. Are you doing it the right way? And are you hearing them when they communicate back? Discern certain messages and know how to see this is your ancestors. Okay, I don't answer the question. How do you bula moya? Oh, how do you bula moya wo profeta phagamises tung, and how to discern certain messages on it? Letsolo la gago will always guide you, guys. Like I've said, in most cases, letsolo la gago will guide you. Gona le tse ding tse leng gore la o tlhatlhobiwa ro profit wa kgona go bona gore mo. You must be able to gore o sesefe. You don't take everything and anything that you're told. You need to be able to actually tell gore mo gone mo ke latlhegelwa tatlhego. But to pagamisa is tunya. Obviously, it's different for every one of us. Mo go mo o tshwantse re go le fetlhong ba bang ba kgona go dira dilo tse ding ba di tirela, ba bang they are being guided on how to do that by their ancestors. So it's a question that it's either or. I really have to pray about it, go to lefetlo, have a spiritual guide, have a spiritual mother. So the right person to help you with the cleansing. The right person to help you with cleansing could be ngaka, could be, I mean, it would also depend on what kind of cleansing is that. I get it, there are different kinds that you might need. Nako nngwe fetetswe ke mpa, nako nngwe tshonotse mpa, nako nngwe na le sefifi, nako nngwe things are just not going well for you, nako na le seqhito, there's a lot of them. So yeah, each one will literally have to have a special person allocated to be helping with that happening around you. And how do you go pattern us to get the right person? I don't understand that. About cleansing it, when it's time to do so, you get blocked by certain things happening, then you know then something is just conning to off. Towards ago, I wanted to ask, what does it mean when you continuously have a dream? Okay. I don't know about that one. Okay, let's see these ones. Togoza Gogo, I wanted to ask, what does it mean when you're in a yard? It's either or you have a calling. You need to pray for clarity for that. When it's okay about cleansing, when it's the time to do so, like I said, the cleansing kaditwani. So it's either you are cleansing ka bata, it's either you are cleansing ka pizza, it's either you are cleansing ka hoya ko meeting. It's different, and also the times would also be different, depending on what it is that you're cleansing. How are the different ancestral spirits connected, if they are? Deconnected ka semoya lisidimo. What does the dream mean? Seeing, okay, I think I've answered that. Yeah, I think I've literally covered all the questions. Yep. Because I did also mention that I could hlahloba before going to Lefetlo. So yes, guys, thank you so much for taking part in the Q&A. I'm hoping that you would have enjoyed the video, and please do like, share, and subscribe. And please do also note that we do have a podcast, which is Leto, the Journey with me, Kaone Nkosi. which is available on all digital platforms, as I've said before. And that actually this brings us to the end of today's video. Please do look out for more videos, more homecoming videos. I'm still going to try and make time with Baporofeta, Basebeleti, so we can actually get to understand the different forms and all their duties in the respected fields, and how they do things differently, and how did they realize this and that. And with that said, Togozani Maketla, shall definitely see you in the next video. Togozani.